Hey guys, Dr. Jason Lipoff, your Team Beachbody Coach. I wanted to share with you guys what happened to me over the last 24 hours, and hopefully this will give you guys a little bit of perspective on dealing with feeling overwhelmed. That happens to everybody, but there's a way to think about it differently to overcome what might happen to you in the future. So as most of you know, I am a pediatric dentist, and I see patients in my office during the week, and I'm in surgery half for Thursdays and Fridays. Some of those days are long days, and then it doesn't shut off there. I've got to be I'm inspiring, motivating people, I'm doing videos, and I'm helping people, and I love doing it. And yet it still takes a lot out of me from time to time, even though, I think I've got really good time management. And so last night, I'm not quite sure what triggered it, but something just hit me and I was just really overwhelmed. And it was about 9 o'clock and Brooke knew something wasn't right, and she was busy doing her clean eating calendar. And I just went to sleep. I went to sleep, about 9 o'clock, woke up this morning still feeling really lost, just overwhelmed. And, I go through the same thing where I'm just like, I got to take a break. It's a lot of thoughts going through my head, and let me tell you guys what goes through my head every time that happens, because it does from time to time, and how I overcome it, or rather how the people around me help me overcome it. So the first thing is that as long as I've been a Beachbody coach, and as long as I have, which is recent, and as long as I've been a board-certified pediatric dentist, and I've been in dentistry for almost 12 years now, the feeling of being overwhelmed doesn't go away. And as a matter of fact, every time you feel overwhelmed, it's the same feeling that you don't ever think you're going to get out of it. That might not be for everybody, but that's for me, and that might be for you guys. So even though I'm very well versed with my mind and my body and able to evolve out of it, every time that it's coming on, I really feel like this is going to be the last time. Like, I really feel that it's it, I need to take a break, and I just can't see any way out of it. So just so you know that feeling, it happens to me every single time, and I've done it right. I mean, my pediatric practice, and from other businesses that I've done, I've proven leadership, and I've shown how to make a seven-figure income, but it still doesn't go away. You still feel overwhelmed. And what does that mean? It means that you're passionate about it. I really feel that that's what I take it to mean. So why was I feeling overwhelmed? Well, a couple different reasons in terms of what was happening with my job and then with Beachbody, but I think it has to do with you only have so much energy to give, and you have to be very selective. If you notice, Josh Spencer and Barbie Decker and a lot of the other top coaches, it's not that they choose to only talk to certain people, but they're very smart with who they talk to. In terms of they have a huge team of coaches, and their coaches are also talking to people. So their energy is going to be used towards people that they feel will benefit the most, people that have exhibited leadership, etc. So they know that their energy isn't going to be kind of wasted over and over again. And I could be wrong, but that's very similar to my feeling, is that I get this feeling that I want to help everybody. And some of you guys might have that feeling too. And not everybody wants to be helped, even though they come to you. And that is what I recognize today is the issue. Because I know as a leader, I know in terms of financially, I know what it takes to succeed. So if someone comes to me and they want to know how to be successful, how to get themselves out of debt, how to build a business, well, I've shown how to do it, I know how to do it, and I've relied on mentors that know how to do it. So I need to be better at when they ask for advice and I give them the advice, their objections can't mean anything to me. Meaning it can't be a conversation back and forth. and this is very important for you guys. So when you guys get very certain when someone comes to you for help with, for instance, nutrition, or want to get in shape, want to get into a challenge group, but then they give you an objection about price, or I can't do those types of exercises, or I don't have time. You have to decide to yourself, at what level are you at in terms of your trust and credibility, and how much do you want to go back and forth with people? Because you can get their why as much as you want, but that still doesn't mean that they're not going to give you objections, and you have to stand your ground and be very clear about it and don't waver. And I think that's what was happening to me, is I was opening myself up to help too many people, and I really can't. I need to conserve my energy where it needs to be used. So, and my strengths lie really in coaching other future leaders and coaches that really want it, and challengers that really show the initiative. And that's part of my niche. So once I've decided that that's where I'm going to move forward, that was one little step in me feeling a little bit less overwhelmed. But what else? First thing in the morning, Brooke opened up a book about the 100 happy, ways to make yourself happy and all these other things. And even though she thinks it didn't help, that did help. I mean, regardless, she popped open something that was going to try to get me in a different mindset while I was having breakfast, and subconsciously, consciously, whatever, it was just sinking in. And then she sent me a couple really nice texts in the morning, like, I'm worried about you, things are going to be fine, you're my rock, you put 110% into everybody. I mean, little things like that. So what's the take-home point there? The take-home point there is you really need a support system at home. It really helps. It doesn't make any sense when you don't have a spouse that's supporting you in what you do, because we're not all perfect, and there's all going to be times where we're going to waver, and we need somebody close to us to pick us back up, and there is no better person than your spouse. Another thing is, I went to work, and the first thing that I said was, I see patients today from 8 to 2 o'clock, and I told one of my front desk girls, cancel my 2 o'clock surgery on my way home, because I'm burnt out. But my front desk girl, team leader, Kate, she knows me very well, and she knew exactly what to say to get me to change my mindset, because it wouldn't even make any sense. Like, why would I want to cancel the surgery case of this child who had heart surgery in 2009, and this is the second time that I have to put him under general anesthesia to treat him, and he's now has 4 abscesses. Like, A, that's not his fault, and B, what's my mission? My mission is to create a better world for children, better opportunities, and by helping parents be the example. So, the fact that the parents really contributed to this child's condition, that's still not in line with my mission. So, so that really helped. So another thing is that the people that you work with, they have to know you. They have to understand you. They have to know your home life. They have to actually be friends to you, because people that work with me all day, they really got me into a much better mood. And if I only thought of them as a coworker, then I don't know. I think I just would have been down all day. It would have affected my work all day. The last thing is, I love what I do. So seeing kids all day, I remember at one point I saw these 2 little twins that were just adorable, and they were like crying together, and one was 1 year old, and the other one was, they weren't twins actually, the other one was 3. But they were just hysterical. It was both their first visits. One was crying, and then the other started crying, and it was like a rodeo trying to clean the kids' teeth. But it was fun. And I just started laughing in the middle of helping hold down this little 3-year-old who was so scared because he didn't know what was going on. And I was like, wow, I'm smiling. This is great. And I'm realizing, like, that's it. Just focus on what you like to do. And by the time that I was done with surgery, the day had, one more thing happened. Another girl from my front desk, she came up to me and said, Dr. J, there's this mom, and she loves, her and her kids come to see you, and they love you, and apparently their insurance is no longer accepting composite restorations, and they can't afford the extra out-of-pocket cost to pay for the composite restorations, and they called the insurance company, and the insurance company was pretty cold and said, just go to another provider. And so the mom actually called our office and said, this is our problem. I trust Dr. J. Is there anybody else that you can recommend for me to go see? The first thing is, I don't remember ever that happened. Like, that's just, to me, that feels really good that someone is, I feel very honored that they would actually call our office to get another recommendation. Because a lot of places they would just go ask another friend and another mom, and then they would go elsewhere. They'd feel kind of ashamed. But of course I went in, I said, just don't charge them extra. Like, that's ridiculous. They're our patients. It's not their fault. We'll take care of it. And then Joanna came back in and said that the mom was crying on the phone, so happy that I'm doing that for them. And, once again, I was just kind of like elevated to this other level. Like, again, this is why I do it. So the days that I get overwhelmed, where I feel like I'm wasting a lot of energy on parents that don't want to hear what I got to talk about with diet and nutrition, or when someone comes to me and says, God, I really want to change, and I'm depressed, and I'm overweight, and I really want to do it, and then I tell them all about this amazing challenge group, and they're like, I don't know if that's not for me. Well, I got to say, then you're not ready. I have to stop convincing them about this amazing thing that we're a part of. And I think, like you guys all know, that, we all have two different brands. We have our own personal brand, and then there's Beachbody. We are not Beachbody. We are two separate things. Beachbody just allows us to get a foundation to be the most successful people that we can be. It makes it, basically, it allows us to be healthy and make it a habit. I think that's probably the easiest way that I can say it, because life is hard enough. So if you can, without even thinking about it, be able to develop your mind, fuel your body, and then embrace movement and not have it be a chore, that frees up your mind to actually explore your pleasures in life and your family and everything that you wanted to do, everything that's holding you back. And that's what it is. Beachbody is not the answer for everything. It's the foundation. And in 24 hours, it really helped me because, I've got a huge community of friends now at Beachbody that are always there to support me in positivity. But most importantly, my rock, wouldn't be here without her, is Brooke. She's the first person that I saw in the morning, and she knew something was wrong, and she was there for me. So, always know that, God and family come first, and then you've got, your friends, and Beachbody's kind of all the way, kind of in it. But I think it's important to know that we all feel overwhelmed. It happens, and that when it does happen, alert somebody, listen, I'm going through this right now, and I just want you to know, you need an accountability partner when you're going through feeling overwhelmed. Because every time, just like me, it really always, for me, it always feels like it's the last time. But yet, you always get over it because it's very structured how my mind thinks now to get over it. So, alright guys, have a good one.